Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 11, Episode 11. Before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. I don't know if I'm over it or not, but I think I am. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they're not really giving much this season. Everything is just like last season where they take one housewife and they just focus everything on this one housewife. And this story with Erika is just going on and on and on. And it just keeps feeling like a soap opera. You know, all these beautiful people dressed beautifully, sitting around talking about what's going on, and you know, the doorbell rings and everybody, you know what I mean? Is anybody getting that feel? This is just a soap opera feel. So I think I'm just gonna hit on the high points of the episode and go on about my business because I'm kind of over it. So when the episode actually first starts off, the one thing that sort of hit one of my pet peeves is when the ladies get up, the house is destroyed. That beautiful, expensive home of Kyle's is a wreck. And I don't want to judge anybody on their cleaning habits or anything like that. What I'm just saying is there was, 6 or 7 of them? And when I'm having a dinner at my house, once everyone's finished eating, I automatically scrape everyone's plates and refill the dishwasher and wipe everything down. It's just kind of a habit. Also, if I go to someone else's dinner party, I always offer to help them clean up, tidy up. I don't understand, you know, with that many women, they could have tidied that place up in 25 minutes. But I realized they didn't want to. And the next morning, when they all got up, they all walked around the kitchen, got them something to eat. It didn't bother them that it was a complete mess in this woman's home. And then I realized, duh, these people are rich and they don't care because they have a housekeeper stopping by who's gonna clean up all of this mess. I don't know. This is rich people life. I don't know that. Me, I'm gonna help you clean up your house. I'm sorry, I cannot just have dinner here and leave my glasses and cups and food all over the tables. That's just not how I was raised.
Oh, this house.
We need to have somebody come.
They're coming.
The girls find out that Tom's attorney is stating that Tom was in the hospital, and they're speculating that maybe his hospitalization has something to do with, you know, his possible alleged dementia, and that has something to do with the case. At one point, they even stated that his accident from 2 years ago could have contributed to his behavior and this whole situation going on with this case. And I said, no, who is buying this? Who is buying this? This has been going on for quite some time. This money and all this other stuff that's being alleged didn't just happen 2 years ago when Tom had that supposed car accident. You know, the car accident where she said at one point that she didn't know where he was because he was unconscious. Then she said, I found him. She went out there and found Tom. Then Tom called her. Then Tom showed up and she thought he was with some other woman. Okay, this is the same accident. No, ma'am. Who is falling for this? I'm not. Now listen, everybody knows I absolutely adore Erika Jayne. I have always liked her ever since her very first episode. The problem here is things don't look so great. All of the stuff that's coming out from the courts, that attorney Ronald, somebody who is tweeting all of these documents, he tweeted that, you know, Lisa Rinna owes back taxes or something, 1.2 million or something like that, allegedly. They've also been talking about all this money that Dorit owes, and I said, well, what in the world? Dorit's, I think her and Kyle and her situation with her husband, and Lisa Rinna and her situation with her husband, I think they are all happy to leave the focus on Erika Because as long as everybody is laser focused on Erika, nobody's thinking about Lisa Rinna, her marriage problems, her tax problems, Dorit and all of her legal money problems, Kyle and her husband problems, all of this alleged, because I don't know these people, but let's stay focused on them. And maybe every now and again, we can put something in here about Sutton being crazy. I mean, you know what I mean? This situation is ridiculous. So anyway, this whole review is going to be off the cuff and crazy. So another thing in this episode that struck me as odd was Kathy. The girls are out there riding those electric bikes, and listen, Sutton decided she didn't want to ride the electric bike. She said those scare her. And I said, you know what, Sutton, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you. Listen, my son got me a bike for my birthday. The day before yesterday, me and my mom decide, hey, instead of our regular walking on the trail, let's take our bikes out. Honey, now listen, I fell off my bike and I got up, dusted myself off, and went on about my business. About a mile later, I fell off my bike into the mud, hit my hip on the side of the bike and my knee down to the ground. Honey, listen, I agree with Sutton. Stay off the bikes. But listen, I'm on the mend. I've had some Advil for the last couple of days. Things will be fine, I'm sure. I'm going to get back on the bike again. I'm not going to give up. I'm serious. But when I do get back on, I'm going to have some knee pads and a helmet. Okay? I don't care. Laugh if you want, peeps. My grown butt is getting some knee pads and a helmet. That's how it's going to go. Okay? Anyway, the girls are out. They're hanging out, having a good time. They left that filthy house so they could go over to the little cute town and get some crepes, you know, having a good time. Kathy calls asking them, do they have any straws or chia seeds? And can somebody please grab her some straws and chia seeds for her shake that she has to have every day? And I said, ma'am, you know you need chia seeds, and you know that you just have to have a straw to drink your shake. Why didn't you bring everything you need? Now listen, they make the comment, this is Kathy Hilton. Right, this is Kathy Hilton. Great, great, great. Kathy, you were not born rich. I'm just saying, ma'am, you were on a girls trip. All right. Anyway, Dorit handled the business. She got her some straws. I have no idea who got the chia seeds. This is Kathy Hilton. I absolutely adore her, but still, Dorit has become your personal assistant.
Who is Hunky Dory?
Yes.
So Erika says that they have property there in La Quinta, but she doesn't know the address. Excuse me? You and your husband own properties in La Quinta, and you've been to the La Quinta a couple of times that we've seen you with Kyle. And not one time did you ever investigate what the address was? And then I said, well, these people couldn't be anything like me and my good girlfriends. Honey, listen, we are a group of inspectors. Do you hear me?
Inspector Gadget.
That's me and my friends, honey. We will inspect everything, research everything. I said, wait a second, why are y'all playing with her? All you have to do is get online. Public record. You can find out the address. Listen, a little bit later, Kyle decides that she's going to look it up. She looks it up and finds out the house was sold in 2018, and Erika had no clue. Well, that's what she said. She had no clue. But who's buying it? I don't know if I am. Anyway, Sutton drops a little advice. She says, well, you know, to find out things, this is where you need your forensic accountant. You should reach out to your attorney and make sure that they have a forensic accountant. She said they will find everything. And that's how you'll be able to get what you need in this divorce. Now, it was a little weird to me because Dorit had a lot of questions. I said, wait a minute, does Dorit have a pen and pad? Listen, I didn't see a pen or pad, but you best believe Dorit was taking notes. She was asking several questions. Well, how much can they find?
You don't even know what a proof looks like, probably.
I do. I ride one, darling.
When they do the forensics, they'll find it. But Erika, almost more important than your attorney is your forensics team.
Yes, it is.
Do all of your financial history.
If you want to find out any money somewhere, like deep,
Like Turks and Caicos
like
money.
anywhere
Like
offshore.
show money?
Yes.
Offshore,
Yes.
through different holding companies, like deep.
Really?
Yes.
They can find any of it. They can
Well,
find
yeah.
it.
I mean, she had questions. And with these alleged situations she's going through, I understand. Get you a forensic accountant to find out what's happening. Okay, Erika looked a little nervous as well. Her face looked a little shook. Okay, believe you me, the IRS and the federal prosecutors have all kinds of forensic accountants, and they will be checking. They're checking. I'm just saying, it was a little weird, you know. And also, did anybody else notice that the only person that seems as if they are on the fence with Erika and her story is Sutton? Okay, so listen, Sutton might be a little kooky, a little crazy sometimes, but maybe she's really just crazy like a fox. Okay, Sutton is not here for it. She doesn't trust or believe the story that Erika has given us. So at some point, Garcelle, Crystal, and Erika go for a hike, and boy, was that beautiful. It was beautiful, but it was really dry desert. Made me thirsty just watching. Anyway, Garcelle is the only one, if you ask me, out of all the ladies who are actually asking the hard-hitting questions. Garcelle is not soft-pedaling and woo-woo-woo, you know, the way the other ladies are. So she was just, you know, trying to get some information. While they were on this hike, Garcelle tries to name off her 6 siblings, and it was a difficult task. You know, she forgot all about
Of 7. There's Maurice, Eve Rose, Gladys, Chantel, Elie. Who am I missing? I'm missing someone. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's terrible. My sister Carol. I forgot about her. Oh my God. I love you, Carol.
That was hilarious.
Did you get an allowance? Like, how did it work? Like,
No, I didn't get an allowance.
did you guys share everything, like in terms of both on the house, both on finances?
All of that is kept very far away from me.
Credit cards. Yeah, life was on credit cards. And I would get cash from Tom. He always had cash on. So if I just needed some money, I'd ask, can I have some money?
Tom was doing all of that, so well, I'm not privy to any of that.
I tell you what, that's exactly what I'd say if I was in the middle of this type of situations and the feds was watching. I would absolutely say that. He didn't give me any money. All I had was these credit cards, and he took care of everything else. Paid all the credit card bills too. That's what I'd say. I want to know, how did you take care of paying for your glam squad? Did you write them checks? Did you send them ACH payments? Or was that just something you wrote on a sheet of paper and handed it to Tom? I don't
Have a heads up? Is that why you got divorced?
No, I did not. You know, like, obviously, I have not talked to him, and I cannot talk to him.
Right,
Even
right.
though he calls me every day.
He does?
He does?
And if I am asked, when was the last time you spoke to him, I have to be able to say, you know, the day I left.
So this story just evolves every time she tells it. Every time she tells it. We keep hearing over and over and over again. And every time it's told, it's just a tiny bit different. And that is a prosecutor's dream. It really is. Just keep on telling your story. Because what happens is, if the story stays the same every time, then people think, she could be telling the truth. But if the story keeps evolving, nobody's going to believe you. So this is a new part of the story. Tom calls her every day. Now, there has been 3 separate episodes where she has stated that she does not talk to Tom. And there was a couple of episodes, or at least one, where she says that there has been no contact. He hasn't even tried to contact her. Really? But now he calls you every day begging for you to talk to him. Okay. The one thing that I do think about every episode is, I think only one time, one housewife, and goodness gracious, it was Lisa Rinna, one housewife has said anything about these victims. Everyone else has just been, oh, Erika, what you're going through. This must be terrible. Oh my gosh, you're pumping your own gas and loading your own dishwasher. What? I mean, it's serious, you know, it's serious to them. But what about these victims? Okay, even the rest of the housewives aren't involved in this case, so they could actually say something about these victims. Not only that, Erika could say something about the victims without admitting guilt, you know? Or should I say alleged victims? Don't come around here trying to sue me, because what you're going to get is a bunch of turnips. Anyway, moving on. Where did that come from? Turnips. Anyway. So Crystal and Garcelle end up talking at one point, and Crystal tells her that Erika had let them know that Tom had been cheating on her. And Garcelle said the same thing that I said in my last video. She said, wait a second, I talked to her about a month ago and she swore that she didn't know anything about any cheating. And I said, yes, this woman is getting caught up in all of these lies. This has got to be an attorney's nightmare, having their client on reality TV, and all of this stuff can be brought into court. All the ladies later go back to Erika's room for dinner, and I thought, wow, is Bravo paying for this room? Because this was a deluxe room that she invited them to, and the room that Garcelle and Crystal was staying in was the tiny La Quinta room that they used from The Bachelorette. I mean, who's paying for this? I'm sure the courts would have.
Who do you have? You have Laya here?
Yeah, because she's with Tiago all day.
Wait, they're all
I don't have any.
back in the casita.
One person, just and my dog. I don't have anybody anymore. You know, I used to have 2 housekeepers, and I don't have any of that. So,
Right.
look, I learned how to go into a bank in March.
What?
Yeah, I didn't know how to deposit. I never had a debit.
We need to take care of ourselves.
But for 22 years, it was not my life. So there you go.
So I'm not buying it. No, ma'am. She married Tom when she was 29 years old. Before that, she was a waitress. She was raising her son. And I'm not sure if she was married to her son's father or not, but I think she was. There is no way you don't know anything about debit cards or banks. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I find that hard to believe. I really do. Then she says she's down to one person, and that person is somewhere in the suite taking care of her dog. I said, imagine that, you're down to one person. And you know who my one person is? Me. Okay, girl, I'm not gonna cry for you, ma'am. Nope. Kathy also makes the statement that she doesn't know how the bank works either. You know, this woman just doesn't have to lift a finger. You know, it's Kathy. She clearly does not have to bring straws or buy chia seeds. She doesn't have to drive herself anywhere. You know, driving here 2 hours was a big deal. Okay, all right, Kathy. Okay, so here's where there's a...
Erika shares, if you don't mind me saying, that Tom calls her.
Well, I do mind you saying that because I feel like you're betraying my friendship right now. But please, have your moment. Go ahead. So let me tell the story. Tom calls me all the time. I won't take his call. And you got it out of me once, and now you want to do it again.
That's not my intention. I don't.
Don't sugarcoat it.
No, ma'am. You have no right to talk to her like that. I don't understand why these ladies allow Erika to talk to them that way. Who's afraid of this woman? I mean, are you kidding me? Garcelle is a nice lady. She is a class act. And I think the only reason why Garcelle has not jumped down her throat is because she realizes that she is going through something. I also think the only reason why Erika freaked out and was acting like that is because you've been busted. You have been telling these ladies a totally different story than what you told Garcelle and Crystal, and you didn't want to be busted out. I think you were also thinking, oh my gosh, I've said too much. The attorneys are going to be on my butt. That's what I think. Okay? And the whole cry fest, I'm not here for it. I am not here for it. There are people who are victims of this allegedly, and they are suffering way more than you have ever suffered. You are still living in a $9,000 a month house. You are still driving a Range Rover. You are still dressed to the nines. Your hair, your makeup, everything is done. You're still bringing around your one personal assistant. Assisting you with what? Okay? I'm just saying, I may be rude right now, peeps, but that ticked me off. Don't talk to that woman like that. And you know what else ticked me off? Erika.
It with us, but you had already got in the car when she said, I don't want to talk about it. So you didn't hear that.
Oh, okay.
I think if someone shares something and says, you know, listen, I don't want to talk about it, or if she gave you an indication.
But you're making it like I did this intentionally, and it's not the truth.
No, I know, because you were in the car already. You did not hear, I know that.
I would never want to hurt her.
You weren't there, you didn't hear it.
She's already going through a lot. I would never want to do that, but I never got told not to.
Ma'am, I know your clothes are loud, but turn them down. Did you just not hear Crystal say that when she asked for them not to mention this, Garcelle was already in the car? She did not hear Erika say that? Later on Watch What Happens Live, Crystal doubles down. She said Garcelle did not do that with any hate or malice in her heart. She did not know that it was not okay to say that. Garcelle did not hear Erika ask us not to say it. So, no ma'am. Give it up. Give it up, Dorit. And give it up, Erika. I'm sorry. I know a lot of the peeps absolutely love Erika. They absolutely believe that she is innocent in all this and that maybe she didn't know anything. And that's okay. We're all allowed to have our own thoughts and opinions. I personally, if all of this is completed and the courts come back and say Erika doesn't have a dime of that money, she didn't know about any of this, I will make a video, a sole video titled, "My Apology to Erika Girardi Jane. I am sorry for thinking that you were guilty," okay? Allegedly. But at this time, I don't buy it. I do not buy that this woman did not know anything. I'm just saying. Anyway, get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this different style of review. And let me know what you think. What's your opinion about the episode? What is your opinion about the season? And do you believe Erika is guilty or innocent? Allegedly. Anyway, peeps, until next time, bye.